Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship Review round 41. And we are all the way up to that devilish Easter period. 2 games coming up this round. And we are going to know a hell of a lot more when this weekend has transpired. But we are not talking about next weekend. We are talking about this past weekend. We have delayed this show, obviously, to take in what was going into the weekend, 3rd versus 4th clash on Monday night between Huddersfield and Luton. Ended up being a 4th versus 5th clash, given what Nottingham Forest got up to. Do say hello in the chat, but we've got to get right into the games straight away. We're going to go from the top to bottom. So give me your comments on an impressive away win for Coventry at champions-elect Fulham. Get your comments in on Fulham 1, Coventry 3, and Coventry have got Fulham's number, haven't they? They've beaten 4-1 before the international break in October. So well done, Coventry. They're probably still a little bit too far removed from the playoff race, but hey, they've had their way with Fulham twice this season. Let's get into the goals, and you can get me your comments on this one. We'll read as many as we can. Just a corner into the box on 20 minutes. It goes down as an own goal for Tim Ream on the near post. I thought Rose put it in on first glance, but Ream's not going to have a good day in this one. He's been good this season, but OG for Ream. And from OG to oh dear, 4 minutes later, O'Hare slips into Gyökeres. Gyökeres has probably hit 50 better shots in training than that probably the previous day or something. But Rodak's really poor, isn't it? Goes down to his right, just goes right through him into the net. And Coventry have got a 2-goal lead. Fulham are going to get one back here. That is Bobby Reid, who comes on at half-time. But fair play to Coventry. They do get up to minute 82 against the Fulham goal machine. And don't concede. Look at those 2 players there. They're both going to do that classic thing where they both throw themselves and the ball goes past them, behind them into the corner. But late on in the day, 93rd minute, another horrible moment for Ream, who gets caught sort of playing out from the back, and the ball's quickly into the box. Hamer knocks it across to O'Hare, who taps it in for 3-1. Fulham celebrations, champagne on ice, let's just say. So Fulham, 83 points. Keep comments in on this one, by the way. I'll read some out in a minute. 83 points. So they've gone on to 94 goals. So a goal per game for the last 6 games will bring them to the 100. Look, Nottingham Forest lose at the weekend, I believe, and Fulham win. They are up. Or across the Easter weekend, if Forest were to get 2 points less, basically, I think is the maths. So Fulham may not be promoted by the end of the weekend. It basically needs, you'd think the way Forest are playing at the moment, a 6 for Fulham and a 4 for Forest. That's where we are. But I think at 25 wins, 94 goals, it's a matter of when, not if. But Coventry put the celebrations on ice. They are 6 points off the playoffs, but there's 5 games to go and there's 3 teams in between them. So, look, they win the next couple of games, we'll talk, but it would have to be a pretty special late streak. Let's read some comments here. Mr. E, when I thought Coventry's season was fading, they proved a lot of people wrong this season. Coventry been very decent, haven't they? Fulham have a foot on the beach, just the one, I think. I agree with that. Coventry, Fulham's bogey team, looks like it. They'll be pleased to see the back of them. Coventry reasonable big against Forest. Coventry always turn up against the bigger teams that are above them. It would appear to be so. Let's move on. And our second game, it's a 0-0. So I'm going to need your comments straight away because I've not got any footage, obviously, or any pictures to show you. But it was Sheffield United 0, Bournemouth 0. So what it does mean is that Bournemouth have scored 1 point in the last 2 games. So those of you who've been saying to me, and there are many up, Bournemouth have got a difficult run, Ben. Keep your eye on them. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm watching. We're watching. Sheffield United have been imperiously good at home. I think it's like 11 unbeaten or something around that number for them. It ends 0-0. I know probably going to get some comments on some refereeing. Look, it's done. It's 0-0, and we need to think about the implications of the draw in this one. So Bournemouth stay. They are 4 points ahead of Huddersfield, who we talk about in a minute, but they've got 2 games in hand. It's Forest everybody's looking at, isn't it? So Bournemouth are 6 points ahead of Forest. Remember, 7 games each to play, and there is the head-to-head game between round 45 and round 46. So a lot of people are suggesting to me, well, look, all Forest need to do is be within 5 points going into the head-to-head, then cut it to 2 points if they can beat them, then go past them on the last day. That would be quite the collapse from Bournemouth. I'm still in the camp of that. I think Bournemouth would still really be chucking this away if they don't make this by now. But you can see where the direction of travel is particularly. I mean, look, Huddersfield and Forest there in 3rd and 4th have both taken 6 points in the last 2, and Bournemouth have both taken 1. Let's talk about Sheffield United briefly. Get your comments in quickly. So Blades, it's okay, isn't it? They didn't lose the game. They kept the home record up. They've got injuries. I'm sure they'd like to finish the season with Basham, Bogle, Sharp, Brewster somewhere near the team. I quite like the look of their run, actually, over Easter. Reading at home and Bristol City away. We think we might get a 4 or a 6 from Sheffield United to take them towards 70. So I don't think this is the worst result in the world, this one for the Blaze. Let's get your comments. I'm not going to read anything out about refereeing. It's boring. Let's have a look here in the chat. I'm not going to read anything about refereeing, guys. Sorry, it's done, it's happened. I get people complaining about refereeing decisions every game. It is what it is. And I'm going to move on. A good point for Bournemouth. I think so. I think Bournemouth would be happy with a point. Anything else? Need at least 4 points from the next 2 for Bournemouth. Yeah, I should mention that, Mark. Borough at home, Coventry away. So 4 points would be decent, actually, given those. Look, you know my feelings about 2 points per game. 4 points at any point during the season is decent. If it's not enough, then that's your fault for what's happened previously, isn't it? Savigma, Sheffield United, 2 inconsistent. Borough starting to come back into it. Well, we talk about them and a home defeat, but I do agree with Savigma that there is some inconsistency there with Sheffield United. Right, let's move on. Game number 3, I don't need to go too much on because I watched all of it last night, and it was Huddersfield 2, Luton 0. If you want to know about that game, we did a watch along, so you can get 2.5 hours of me talking about that. But of course, we will get your comments and have a look at the goals right now. And Huddersfield, just fantastic what they've done this season, and they are into that 3rd spot. And honestly, 69 points. 2 more wins in the last 5 games, and they would have 75. 1 or 2 points more than that, you'd think. 8 points from their last 5 games, and they're at 77. Surely they're going to make it now. Surely. Let's have a look at the goals in this one. Get your comments. Huddersfield 2, Luton 0. Where are my pictures then, guys? Is that it? No, that's Adebayo missing the penalty. We need Russell scoring first. We talked about this a lot. Lansbury probably should have gone off with a concussion, kept playing. He does go off. Potts trots on, and the marking is not great. They're a bit cold there. And Russell, I'm still confused about this. When you look at just the goal, it looks like he means to do exactly what he does. But when the ball drops in the net, he almost looks surprised. Whereas, I don't know. I'd be interested in your thoughts. Look, no one knows except him, so it's all opinion. But you'd have thought if someone was meaning that, be watching and they'd be sprinting off thinking, look what I just did. Anyway, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and we'll say, great finish there. That's not a great finish. Bree brought down for the penalty. Adebayo hits the base of the post. Big chance for Luton there. They won't, the Luton fans, want to look back and say, oh, Ben, that was the moment. That was the turning point, especially given it's Forest at home, followed by Cardiff away for Luton. You never know whether we'll look back at that moment and say, was that a key turning point for Luton towards the end of this season? Huddersfield set play. bring Sarr on. It's a good one again. They all stand at the back. All bar one of them goes. Sarr, half goes, turns back around, corner goes to the back post. He's on his own. He heads it in. They've been very good on set plays this season. They've just been very good generally this season, Huddersfield. So as I said, 69. I think if they win 2 more games, let's be frank, I think they're in. If they win 2 more games, they've got 75. Then if they were to win 2 and lose 3 of the remaining 5, surely. I mean, I'm talking about 5th or 6th probably. Then Luton, it's a slowdown at a bad time, isn't it? Not that there's ever a good time to have a slowdown. 2 points in the last 3. And really, they need a win from either Forest or Cardiff. I think need to win one of those games. All very well not losing either of them, but then that would be 4 points from 5. And I think they might be outside the playoffs if that's the case. I think Luton need a win at some point over Easter. Let's get into the comments. Haven't heard from Luca, Joe. You can stop asking, buddy. I have read it. If I knew I'd tell you, fella, but I'll text a little bit later. What else have we got? We've done Blades, haven't we? What are we doing? Huddersfield and Luton comments. Right, here we go. Darren, 3 very winnable final games. Russell's goal was class as well. So shocked myself. He looked shocked when it went in, Darren, didn't it? Huddersfield lost 7 at Norwich. Yeah, God. I maintain Huddersfield, one of those. I know this is a comment that you can never prove or disprove. If the season was going another 10 games, I think they were going down last season. They were trending really in the wrong direction and looking very dodgy at the end of last season, but done brilliantly this season, haven't they? Mr. E, very occasionally Luton look bang average, but usually they bounce. That's a good point, actually. They do bounce back fairly well, Luton, so we will see. Luton need to win 3 of their last 5. Yeah, I probably would agree with that. Jay, Huddersfield on the charge, and we play them next. Easy 3 points. Maybe so. Danny Ward is different gravy, is he? What can I say? Defending errors, missed pen. Are we bottling it? Stephen, I wouldn't say, look, Luton to be up there has been absolutely fantastic. So I wouldn't ever use the term bottling because I think they're punching above their weight anyway to be there. But would be a shame to drop out now at this point, having been so good all season. Cheeky goal by Russell. Huddersfield will not go away. Absolutely not. Injuries may... Yeah, that might be right, actually. Trent, yeah, Ben's right as well. The midfield there for Luton and Panzu went out. Lansbury, you would think, will be back, although they do normally say sort of 3-5 days for a concussion, so that might be touch and go. So, yeah, maybe in the central midfield. What I will say about Luton is, of all the squads in the Championship, they've probably got the one. We've seen them cycle in and out players over and over again. So, I think they've got a decent bench in relation to their first team. Right, let's move on. And we're going to talk about Nottingham Forest 2, Birmingham 0, and Forest. Yes, I understand their fans are getting very, very excited. I would say keep calm, Forest fans. Plenty of time to go, but they are on brilliant form. 13 wins in 19, 5 wins on the bounce. They're in fantastic shape, and everybody is looking at Forest now. And the pressure's on. The winning streak is a go, go, go. And, of course, they, like we just mentioned, they go to Luton at the weekend. That is a massive game. If Forest win that, I don't know. They look like they're in there to me. And then everybody's looking up, 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 depending on what Bournemouth do. Let's have a look at the goals. And he's definitely getting a right tune out of Keenan Davis, isn't he, Steve Cooper? This is just very, very good. I mean, look, the defending's not great, is it? But he powers his way down the side and fires the shot in from the angle. Davis, he can't do it. It's not his fault. Nobody's going to stick a leg out and get in the way. But yeah, Davis in excellent form, like many of the Forest players are. On the back post from the corner, there is Scott McKenna to make it. I think I had 2-0 in the predictions as well. So yeah, just nice and comfortable for Forest. And as I keep saying, I think we had some really snowflakey Forest fan completely misinterpret this comment. So listen very closely to what I'm going to say. The only thing I think that could stop Forest is if they can't keep up the intensity. They're just on an absolute tear. And essentially, Forest know that they've got, 7 league games and possibly 3 playoff games. They've got to keep it up another 10 games. And remember, they've been on this tear basically from round 8 since Cooper arrived. So that would be the only thing. If they keep it going, who's stopping Forest at the moment? In terms of Birmingham, there are two sides to every story. They're in 18th. They're well and truly on the beats. Let me just scroll that up a bit so you can see a little bit better. It's very spotty, isn't it? Draw, win, lose. And I keep saying it about Birmingham. It sounds like a cop-out. There's just some sorting out needs doing for sure for Lee Bowyer. Let's get some comments here. 10 unbeaten, 5 in a row for Forest. Yeah, use whatever stats. They're in fine form, aren't they? The Forest Express keeps rolling on. It absolutely does. Forest have... Well, I think that's a fair point, Jay, and that's not a dig at Forest. They do have to lose at some point. I mean, they're on this amazing run. If they go right the way through, and God, we have seen teams do it. I remember Charlton in 97, 98. They barely conceded a goal. They went through like the last from about now and just won the whole way through and through the playoff final as well. So teams have done it before. On the beach defended, certainly for the first goal. Forest have been acting like a top 2 team since mid-September. There's no argument with that, Ben, is there? As a Forest fan, I cannot stay calm in any sense of the word. Just keep calm. Just keep calm. Remember, it's happened very, very quickly for Forest, and you don't, having been marooned in the Championship, it's just my advice to Forest fans, having been marooned in the Championship for a long time, don't get too ahead of yourself. There's still plenty of work to do, and potentially 10 more games, including a playoff campaign, to do. Us Forest fans are still waiting for Forest to do a Forest. There you go. Feels different this season. I can see that. As well. Anything else we've got in here? Villa. Well, no, Villa didn't do it a couple of years ago, did they? Because the last 2 games they rested players, Scott, and they drew at Leeds and lost against Norwich. So I'm talking about a streak right through. So Villa did their streak and got in the playoffs before the season ended. I think Forest are going to have to go all the way through, unless they're kind of sure of it and Bournemouth go up. Maybe they can throw the last couple of games and prep for the playoffs. But it's a very, very rare one. Look back at Reading in, what year was that under McDermott? We've got any Reading fans in? They will tell us where. But they got second. They went really all the way through. So there we go. As a Blues fan, I expected this. Forest are in such good form. We have nothing to play for. Good luck to Forest in their pursuit. 2 defeats since January. Worth. Absolute worth. But we know in those playoffs, you only need to play bad for 10 minutes and it can be a cruel, cruel mistress, can't it? But Forest in absolutely fantastic form at the moment. It was one of those, Will, wasn't it? Under McDermott, I think they went from like 8th to 2nd probably in the last 3 months of the season or whatever, and beat West Ham and beat Southampton, didn't they, towards the end of the season. Right. Enough love for Forest. They've been getting far too much from everybody else. I tell you what, I'd like some love. Can we get a like spike going on the stream? If you're watching the stream right now, I haven't asked yet. We've got 21 likes. Hit that like button right now. Really helps as many people find the channel and hopefully maybe find the stream right now. Some more Championship fans. We've got 21 likes. The more people that hit like right now, we might be able to get ourselves up to 50 likes. Wow. Unbelievable. It's gone straight up to 42, 47. The support on the channel, absolutely outstanding. Thank you so, so much, guys. That will help us with the YouTube stats and all of that good stuff. Right. Help me out trying to get a handle on Blackburn. It was Blackburn 1, Blackpool 1. They're still not winning. They're still trending downwards, aren't they? But they're still right in the playoff picture, just on the edges there in 7th place. Let me know your feelings. Blackburn, they do, I hate the term, throw away a lead. Anytime anyone gives up a lead, someone says they throw it away, which is not always the case, is it? But they had the lead and they didn't win the game, is what I'm saying. 1-1. Get your comments in on Blackburn and the direction of travel for them. That is Gallagher with the opener, and Neil Critchley's not going to be happy with this. Literally, goal kick all the way over, and Gallagher just runs onto it. Kaminsky gets the assist to give Rovers the lead. This is an absolute mess as well, this goal. Set play goes in, and it's Ekpiteta who manages to sort of bounces about 5 times off various people's legs, and Ekpiteta sort of just rolls it into the corner, gets something on it, and it is 1-1. Give me your thoughts on Blackburn. I mean, the run is so poor for probably 8, 9, 10 games now. It's only that win against Derby. And let's be fair, in the first half of that game, they weren't great either from what the Rovers fans tell me. So, look, you would think the way it's trending, Blackburn aren't going to do it. But let me tell you, Peterborough away, Stoke home. Give me 4 points, give me 6 points, and they'll be at 69 with 3 games to go. And then you're only another 6 points from 75, and you've got a chance. It does, even adding that up right now, it does feel like almost like 4 wins and a draw is what they would need. And that would be, what would that be? 12, 13, 76. So it does feel like a tall order. It feels like Blackburn have basically got to just win now and keep winning. And maybe they can afford a draw in there somewhere, given what other teams are going to do. And that Middlesbrough, you can see below, have the game in hand as well. Blackpool, little bit beachy from the seaside. His last 4 games, only 2 points. I've been quite high on Blackpool this season. You know, a League One team last season. Critchley's obviously very good. But yeah, it's just sort of fizzling off a little bit at the end of the season. You could do with another win or 2. Let's have a look. Friday is close to a must-win for Blackburn. I think so, doesn't it? What else have we got? Blackburn sinking quicker than the Titanic. Deary me. What else have we got? Blackburn will keep dropping, not consistent enough. They're quite consistent at the moment, Junior, aren't they? Consistently not winning. Talk about going off the rails. That's Blackburn. Well, we'll talk about QPR in a minute, actually, Scott. But yeah, you're totally right. True, Ben. Forest got stuff to apply to half it. Well, there you go. Exactly. I don't know what happened before then, but Le Fondre goal. Actually, we tweeted about that, and Le Fondre replied himself, which was always good. Good fun. Right. Blackpool have had a great season. Blackpool have over. I think Blackpool have done really well this season, haven't they? Just get in there, stabilise. Right. Where are we going next on the ticker? Yeah, this was a weird one. Get comments on this. Middlesbrough 0, Hull 1. Couple of surprise away wins. Coventry winning at Fulham, and this one as well. Blackpool 0, Hull 1. I think most of the chat in the preview and prediction show had this one as a home win. I certainly did, so I'll hold my hands up and say, well done, Hull. And Chris Wilder, I think, wants Lumley in goal to hold his hands up, because this goal, like Rodak's, not quite as bad as Rodak's, but this one goes through his hands properly, doesn't it? From Keane Lewis Potter, and it's not even in the corner, I don't think, is it? He bends it there with the right foot, and yeah, keeper goes down. I don't know if he's trying to let it bounce and then push it away, but looks an easy save, and the ball ends up going in the corner. And ridiculously, we prepped the end of the season saying, right, Middlesbrough, they're really good at home and they're not winning away. Need to sort out their away form. I think they've won the last couple away, and now it's home form that may be an issue. Okay, it was Fulham that they lost to in the last home game, but all of a sudden they were very bankable at home, Middlesbrough, and they've lost 2 on the bounce. And again, I've said this many times in this stream, they're still in it. They're very, very much still in it on 62 there. 3 behind Sheffield United with a game in hand. But they go away to Bournemouth at the weekend, and then home to Huddersfield. I don't think they can afford any. They've got to win one of those games, and they could really do with 4 points. You would think, go to Bournemouth, get a point, and try and beat Huddersfield. I don't know. Whichever way around, it doesn't really matter on the basis that they're probably not ultimately going to finish above either Bournemouth or Huddersfield. But the hardest Easter, I think, on paper there, 2nd and 3rd for Middlesbrough. What's Chris Wilder got up his sleeve? Hull, strangely, have started winning away games. I always come on here and say, I don't trust Hull. I still don't. And this is why, because they proved me wrong. Again, let's get some comments from you guys. What are we saying in the chat? Can Bournemouth and Borough both lose on Friday? We can't do that for you. We can give you a 0-0 draw, but there we go. Borough, 11 shots, no big chances. That's been an issue a lot of the season, having the ball and creating chances, not taking them. David Lumley has had a few of those over the years. I assume David's a Rangers fan if he's saying that, but I think he's right. Borough missing Jones is class, isn't he? So, yes. We are Borough, we are poor. Major shock. Hull should be team of the... We'll come to that later, Ewan. I think it might be a few shouts for Coventry for teaming around. But we'll get to that later. One of those games, by the looks of it, where Hull just do well to hold on. Then the goal comes from pushing too far. Yeah, maybe indeed. Grant McCann, congratulations to Hull. Yeah, he did set all that up, didn't he, before being turfed out. So, yeah, I agree with that. Dave, can see Borough getting a win. I think they really need one, don't they, Sergio? I think if it's 2 points, I can see them missing out. They need to get something done over Easter, in my humble opinion. Let's be humble again for another second longer and say a big thank you to Russ, who is our fan sponsor over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Russ is a great guy, comes on the roundtables with us. You can sign up over there, support my work here. It's hard to earn money out of YouTube, and we want to keep this free for the longest time. So we do that, and we also do take super chats. So if you do want to support financially, we'll keep this free, no obligation, but right where you type in your comments now, a little dollar button, you can hit that, and we'll definitely read it out and say thank you. And it's kind of like a way to give a tip to the piano player or whatever in whatever bar you're in at the weekend. It's very American. 63 likes. Please do hit the like button, and we are going to move on. Most importantly, get your comments in. Millwall fans, are they interested again now? Been a poor little run, but it was Millwall 4, Barnsley 1, and obviously big implications down at the bottom with Barnsley losing, especially after that recent couple of results in the battle there with Reading down there. But Millwall, are they sniffing it? Let me just tell you, at the weekend, Preston away, Hull at home. Can Millwall do a 4 or a 6 and get themselves back into really decent contention, having dropped a little bit? Anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's have a look at the goals. And Danny McNamara is going to turn into Gary Lineker in this game. There is the opening goal for McNamara, the right wing back. Don't remember him being a prolific scorer, but maybe someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I think, is it Wallace puts it in from the left, bit of a deflection or a foot on the cross, and McNamara arriving, sticks it in 1-0. And there he is again. Look at that. You love to see that. What I really love about that goal, my favourite, one wing back crossing to the other wing back in the 6-yard box. Number 9 heads it in on the back post. Total football from Gary Rowett. Who'd have thunk it, hey? It's a great goal by Ramal Palmer. Breaks to him in the box there from... who is that? Is that Carlton Morrison there? Looks like it. Palmer just slaps it in the top corner with his left foot. But here come Millwall again on the back post. That looks like Hutchison. It's not. It's Oliver Burke. You can still find him. And Benik Afobe. That's a really good finish, actually. Bouncy ball, controls it and sticks it right in the far corner. Afobe's been fairly decent of late, hasn't he? Let's have a look at this table then. We'll look at Barnsley first before we talk about Millwall's playoff chances. Look, 8 points adrift. Reading on 37. We didn't think any of the bottom 3 would be anywhere near 45 to survive, let alone 40, which might be within Reading's grasp within the weekend if they can win a game. So look, still a massively tall order for Barnsley. Basically, to be within a game's contention, 2 wins would take them to 35, providing Reading then lose 2 as well. So it's a tall order. It's also a tall order for Millwall, but they had a good round. Look above Millwall. Borough lost, Blackburn drew, Sheffield United drew, Luton lost. Couldn't have been much better, actually. Millwall get the 3 points. Again, like people were saying in the comments about Blackburn, they probably need, I'm not even going to say 3 wins and a draw, probably need to win the next 4, which would go into the last round on 73. And would even 75 or 76 be enough? They can't get 75, obviously, can they? But look, 5 straight wins to end the season. Well, it'd actually be 6 because they've won this one. Would take Millwall up to 76. It's a tall order, but look, win a couple of games and you never know. And look, Preston away and Hull at home. There's some points to be had there. It might come a little bit too little too late. What do we got here? I want Millwall to keep winning. They have Bournemouth last down. There's some vested interests going on here. I think Millwall will have the same things. McNamara's first and second goals for Millwall, really. Well, there we go. He's not prolific at all. Fancy Millwall to sneak into the playoffs. It's going to be tough, Dave. I think it needs to be 4 wins and a draw or 5 wins, in my humble opinion. Millwall have an easiest run, and it's the traffic, isn't it, Bryn? Traffic. What else have we got? Surprised Millwall have only drawn 13 games. Didn't they draw 46 last season? We're going for the record at some points. Millwall playing Winter. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Simon. Winter State, you just got to keep winning and see what happens, basically. So there we go. Right, we are going to move on. Hit that like button, 65 likes. Be lovely if we get to 100 likes during the show. Where am I going next, guys? I can't see on my ticker. Preston 2, QPR 1. And less said about QPR, the better. I think, fact check me, please, 7 defeats in 8 in the league. Is that right? Just horrendous, abject, awful form to drop to 11th place. And remember, at the end of January, was it, when they beat Reading 4-0. And it was, right, QPR are coming for Bournemouth now for second. And it's just been awful since then, Rangers. So whatever's happened, who knows? It looks like a psychological thing for Rangers, just not doing what they were doing. I don't know what has gone on, but yes, they suck at the moment, and they lost to Preston. Where are my goals, guys? Too many Millwall goals on there. I think that's the first Preston goal. It is indeed. It's a Jimmy Dunn own goal. Cross comes in for the left. Who's that trying to get across the front there? I think it's Emil Reish. It's going to go in off Jimmy Dunn. And I was talking to Ben HD about this earlier. Apparently, Preston did have a fair amount of chances in the second half. Cameron Archer interests me greatly. If I'm a Championship manager next season and I can get Cameron Archer on loan from Aston Villa, I think I would like to do that deal, because I think he's a 15, 20 goal striker from what we've seen at Preston. And no disrespect at all to Preston. I'd probably go there because he'd be the main man. But even in a better side with more chances, if he was guaranteed in the team, I think lots of goals guaranteed there if you can get Archer. Who's sticking that in? Is that Andre Gray from the spot? It was very, very late on 93, and feels like we're very, very late in QPR's promotion push here. And look, 59. Look at all those red circular L's for loss, defeat, bad news for QPR. You can look at the goal difference as well. Nearly an even goal difference. I know they always were leaky even when they were winning, Rangers, but yeah, they're done, in my opinion. It's, 6 points gap, and the direction of travel, it's, especially given you could possibly add 1 or 3 points on for Middlesbrough as well for a game in hand. Next thing we'll be looking at is, are they going to move Warburton on? Because it seemed like the talk was of that sort of nature. Preston, back-to-back wins. Can they do that thing where you come from the beach, win a few games, jump up a few places? Look, you get 10th, couldn't they? They're 2 points off Coventry in 10th. 2 points per game for the rest of the season. You'd imagine they would be able to do that. Let's get some comments here. Archer is sensational. This many goals on the side would thrive in a better team. As long as they play him, Will. But wouldn't you go back to Preston? Just do a whole season at Preston. Score a load of goals there, wouldn't he? QPR have imploded in spectacular fashion. It's been ugly, hasn't it? Any QPR fans have a theory? I saw them, Mr. E. I saw them at Sheffield United, and it looked psychological. Looked like just a team with no confidence whatsoever. And don't tell me that Chair and Dickey have all of a sudden become bad players. Very, very interesting. Goalkeeping crisis, Willock and Dykes. Yeah, they've not. Yeah, oh, you're right, Ralph. He's worded that well. Have not helped. There's something more than that. There's definitely something more psychological. We haven't fallen off a cliff. We've fallen off Mount Everest. Warburton will be gone at the end of the season. Look, he might be gone before the end of the season, Dave, mightn't he? For sure. Lost 5, but won at Luton. Yes, I was at that game, actually. Iverson made some top saves to ensure we won. QPR, deserved the point. Well, there you go. There you go, indeed. Right, where are we going next? We are going West Brom 1, Stoke 3. Explain that, other than using the term beach ball. Bit of a weird one there. We expected a low-scoring, probably West Brom win is what I was expecting. Nope. We get a high-scoring 4 goals and a Stoke win. Stoke, and people think I've got it in for Michael O'Neill. I haven't. I like him very much. They've won 3 in 4. And if they can win 3 of the next 4, he may well keep his job. And do you know what? I don't think the Stoke higher-ups want to sack him. But they're going to have to if they're down 15th, 16th. Just a sense of underachievement. But a good win here for Stoke to end the the games before Easter. Where are my goals? That's Andre Gray scoring for QPR. There we go. This is a pretty ugly own goal from Jake Livermore. Bless him. The ball gets cut back quickly. You can see there he's just going to get it stuck under his feet and it kind of bobbles in through Sam Johnston, who is being fought over by Spurs and Manchester United at the moment. So he's going to get a nice move and a nice pay rise in the summer, you would imagine. Contract up there. This is a brilliant goal. I want to put this in my goal of the round by Jacob Brown. It's really, really well done. Go back and watch this. It's a completely straight free kick, and Smith takes it really early, just kind of drifts it over the top. Lovely ball. And it's a really hard header because he's got to watch it over his shoulders. And look where he heads it from as well. He's 12 yards out. You see he's in line with the post. It's a great goal, that. That's going in my goal of the round picks, that one, from Brown. Pretty unique goal. You don't see many like that where the cross comes kind of over the player and he then heads it directly forward and catches them out. Nice work by Stoke. Comes back to 2-1 here, Callum Robinson. But a bit of a breakaway here on 94. And Lewis Baker, who's been a very fine signing for Stoke, gets through and makes it 3-1. Both of these are on the beach, especially now West Brom have only scored 4 points in their last 4. Can Stoke catch them up? For both sides, it's just a case of, can you pad this a little bit and get towards 10th place? You finish in the top 10, doesn't look quite as bad for a team that's currently got a year 1 parachute payment in West Brom and one in Stoke that's just finished receiving the parachute payments. Must do better, I think we would say. Michael O'Neill having a hip replacement, is he? Well, we wish him luck with that. Everyone thinks I'm dead against Michael O'Neill. I'm not. Stoke on a good run, unlucky to lose to Reading. Lewis Baker, I agree with you about Lewis Baker, who's been very nice too. With Stoke's recent results, could Michael O'Neill save himself? I think he could, Ewan. I think he could. West Brom are woeful. Tell it how it is, Scott. Anything else there on West Brom and Stoke? I think we are good to move on. We must only have a couple to go here, guys. I can't see on my ticker. It goes down too far. Swansea Derby, then Reading Cardiff, and then Bristol City Peterborough. Before we do that, can I just give a little quick plug for the merchandise store? It's underneath on YouTube right now, under every video. T-shirts, mugs, phone cases, hoodies, jumpers, sweatshirts, whatever you want to call them, etc., etc. If you want to go in from your browser, it's benjaminbloommerch.store. Again, fine way to support the channel. Again, this will always be free here, and there is no obligation to do so, but you can help me out big style. Right. I've now forgotten the game I said I had to get. Was it Swansea Derby we had to do next? Let me look at the table. It is. Swansea win a game. And look, we've been doing lots of playoff prognostications. Easy for me to say. Look at Swansea's last 5 games. It's got 13 points. That's what the playoff... Someone will get in the playoffs and have scored 13 points from their last 5 games. I bet you. That's the sort of nice little bit of momentum to go in. So well played, Swansea. They are in lovely form. And get your goal of the round list ready because Joel Pirro's about to enter it, I am sure. How good is this? Crossed in from the left-hand side from Hannes Wolf. And it bounces up at him. Look at that technique. It's a really hard shot, and he half volleys it, and it's almost a no-eyes half volley, smashes it straight into the corner. Brilliant goal by Pirro. And he does it again a few minutes later with that left foot again. He's a baller, Pirro. 2 goals in the first 16. Talking about Cameron Archer at Preston. How many is Pirro going to get next season? Tremendous double from Pirro. Take a bow, sir, and certainly the first one I've got in my list for goal of the round later on. Penalty for Derby here. Tom Lawrence drives it down the middle. Keeper should probably save it, just the power. Takes it home. Again, usual things. We'll be here all day if we look at every penalty decision and why and wherefore. So I know some people are going to moan about refereeing in this. It is what it is. And I'd be here all day if I went into every time a fan of a team told me about a penalty they should or shouldn't have had given for or against them. So Swansea up to 14th. And again, can we put them in with all of those teams there? Look, Stoke, Stoke, Preston above them, West Brom, QPR, Coventry. It's a little mini league there to almost finish 10th. isn't there? So Swansea in fine form. Pirro, brilliant. Derby, are we done? The Grim Reaper is waiting. I'm going to be at Derby on, what day am I going to Derby? Friday night to see them play Mitrovic and Wilson and Fulham. So, yeah, it is a 9-point gap at the moment for Derby. Could be done over the weekend, couldn't it? If, for example, Reading, not that they're likely to, but to win away at Sheffield United, and then it would go up to 10 points with 5 games again, and then you're literally 1 game away from it. So it's looking close for Derby now, and anything other than win, 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 or win, draw, win, 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 or win, win, draw, win, win, is what Derby need. They've fought manfully, haven't they? But looks like not going to be enough. Swansea looking good. Happy for Russ Martin. He's done well, actually, James, because start of the season, you're a bit worried what's going on there. Friday D-Day for Derby. I don't think so, Scott, not with Reading playing away. I don't see Reading going away and beating Sheffield United, but we'll do that. We'll do that in the predictions show. Swans, only 2 away games left. How high can they get, Adrian? Can they get up there and challenge for second place? This season's got to be one of the lowest number of points needed to stay up. Could well be. Could well be. I know lots of people look at it differently. I, like you and presumably, is look at 22nd plus 1. And what we do sometimes get is we do get that regression at the end when people know it's all over and they just lose their last few games because they know they can't get it. Relegation low tide is down to point. Yeah, agree with that. Obviously, Reading would have +6 and Derby would have +21. So it's not purely down to points deductions, but it's a big factor, Simon. I do agree. And obviously, Peterborough and Barnsley were almost in false positions. They were closer to teams than they otherwise would have been. Right, let's move on. And I want your comments on, we just mentioned Reading. Reading 1, Cardiff 2, and a bit of a saving grace for Barnsley and Derby that Reading actually lost because everyone else in the bottom 3, only Peterborough got a point. Talk to me about this one, guys. Reading 1, Cardiff 2. And there was a point in the Super Stream on Saturday. We were looking at it and thinking, this is over. This is over now because Reading took the lead in this one and Derby were 2 down and Barnsley were getting their backsides handed to them by Millwall. But the Cardiff comeback keeps it going 1 game longer. Look, we think it's going to go the rest of the Easter weekend given Reading's first fixture at Bramall Lane. But they lose this one. Give me your comments in. I need to find a picture of Lucas Zhao rising like a salmon on the back stick to give the Royals the lead. They've been in good form under Paul Ince, 8 points in the last 4. Took the lead here. Yidam puts the cross in from the right. Zhao heads home. But here come Cardiff. Good goal, this one as well. Nice run inside right position from Doughty. Rolls, slips it through. Touch, bends it in beautifully, decisive. Good goal that by Cardiff. And here comes the winner. And Reading just couldn't cope with the running power for either of the goals. Tommy Doyle through to Will Volks. And we know there's a backflip coming because he sticks that one in. And Steve Morrison's having a good end of season with Cardiff. They're a little bit beachy, aren't they? 17th. But look at that, 10 points in the last 5. Very, very decent form. And I don't know what Morrison's actual points per game are, but I'm sure it would be, I don't know, more like 10th to 13th than the 17th they're in if you rolled that out. It might be higher, actually. Haven't checked that one out. Reading looks safe, but never say never. 8 points gap. And yeah, as I always try and tell people, I don't want to deny the tooth fairy or Santa Claus, but teams in the bottom 3 very, very, very rarely, and we're talking once per decade, scored 9 points in 3 games towards the end. It just doesn't happen, does it? That's why they're in the bottom 3, for goodness sake. So I would be fairly comfortable if I was a Reading fan. And look, 1 win would take them to 40, which would mean Barnsley would need 11 or 12 and Derby would need 12 or 13. And it's a no from me, but I'll be the first to give the standing ovation if that sort of overtake does indeed happen. Let's go to some comments. Reading started well, but sat back and handed the initiative to Cardiff. Impressive in the second half. Placed nice football. Not a long throw to be seen. Woof. What else have we got here? Reading keeping Derby and Barnsley hopeful. I think it's hope more than expectation, isn't it? Where are we going? Reading's running isn't great if Derby or Barnsley decide to start winning. For both things to happen, Simon, I'm not seeing it personally. But again, never say never. Penny, can't see Barnsley doing it. No, it looks like a very tall order, doesn't it, at the moment. Finally, I think, have we done all of them? Game 12, yes, we have. Bristol City 1, Peterborough 1. Can we class this as a beach game if we assume Peterborough are gone? We only say that in respect of Peterborough as against Derby. I know they've got the same points, but Derby obviously would be 21 points better off. So we assume they're 21 points a better side than Peterborough, and Peterborough are the worst side in the league. But they do get a draw here with 10 men at erratic, as I always call them, Bristol City. Get your comments in on this one. Rob Atkinson, another towering header from him. In it goes. Look at that. Good players make good shapes. You love that. Ward, denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity there. He brings, who's that? Vyman, looks like it. Off he goes. Don't think any complaints there. But scrambled in on the far post on 65, 6 minutes after the red card by Johnson Clark-Harris. And despite the fact I sit here week after week and say Bristol City have good forwards, particularly Vyman, I know Semenyo wasn't around, can't score against 10-man Peterborough. So a bit of a disappointing one for Bristol City. This one, Peterborough will take the point. And are they harder to beat under Grant McCann? Looking at the last 4 games, 5 points in 4. If they'd done that for most of the season, they would be all right. They'd be far closer to 40 than 30 at this point. But hey, they didn't under Darren Ferguson. Bristol City are on the beach, aren't they? Anything could happen. D-Mob happy. Lots of goals maybe in their last few games. Let's have a look at some comments here. Couldn't get a Peterborough away ticket. I'm going in the away end at Pride Park. You love to see it, Alistair. Anything else on Peterborough and Bristol City? David, who's right at the top of the predictions league, actually. Well played, David. Will Nigel Pearson stay at City? I don't know. I think my glass is half empty on that one. Bristol City have been the worst team in the Championship 2 seasons. If you add the 2 points, I guess so. You're taking the year 1 relegation teams out. But yes, I'm sure that stat is correct, Rossi. Quite surprised Bristol City have escaped relegation for the past 2 seasons. I'm not. I don't see them as a relegation side yet. I still think there's enough decent players there left over from, right up there challenging for the playoffs, like you said, James. Maybe next season, if there's either a points deduction or a lot of players sold, we will see what transpires there. Hang around for another 5 minutes, you lot. Wolves FI is off to watch Champions League. We've got 2 more bits of business to do. First bit of business, though, is we're on 84 likes, and I'd love to get up to 100 before the stream ends. Can we get a like spike? Please hit the like button if you're watching the review show right now. Hit that like button. See if you can take us up to 100. We're on 85 now. Really, really appreciate the support each and every time we go live. You guys oblige by hitting that like button. It really helps us in all the YouTube rankings and whatnot. Right. Are you ready for Team of the Round and Goal of the Round? Don't answer yet because I've got to play my jingle. But here we go. Okay, Team of the Round. You are voting for the team you think had the most impressive weekend. This weekend in isolation, please. I'm not interested in what happened last week or 3 weeks ago. This weekend in isolation, who had the most impressive weekend? I'm not asking you which team you support. Please try and open up your mind, look at the championship as a whole and try and give us a credible result as to who had the best round. I put the shout out on Twitter, no, on YouTube actually, and I think Coventry were the winners. But let me give you my 5 and we'll get a straw poll now. They were, sorry, as I'm clicking around aimlessly here. Hull, I nominated for their win at Middlesbrough. Millwall, a big 4-1 there. We'll put Forest in, but if it's this week in isolation, look, they beat Birmingham. Obviously, the big run is great for Forest, but they beat Birmingham at home. I think other sides have better wins. Who else did I have? I had Coventry. I also had Huddersfield in there because they had a really, really big game. So let me know who your team of the round is. Please open up your mind. We don't need any cheerleading little skirts and pom-poms here. We want to know who you think had the most impressive week. Let's have a look and see what we've got in the chat. Right, here we go. No, it's going to be Coventry. I think it's unanimous, actually. There we go. Even the Forest fans are going for Coventry. Oh, it's completely unanimous. Well done, Coventry. Yeah, fair. There's one in for Hull. There's fair comment on Hull as well. Good win for them. There was a bit of a sense that it was a bit of smash and grab, whereas Coventry's looked like a really nice front foot performance, didn't it? Cool. So Coventry are your team of the round for their away win at Fulham. What about goal of the round? Right, I'll give you my shortlist. Let me just say again, I do have to say this because implicit bias really is a big thing with football fans. If another team scored the goal that you're about to vote for that your team scored and you wouldn't mention it at all, don't mention it for your team. Yeah, we're looking for the best goal. So I've got 5 on my list. Let me know what you think. Russell, did he mean it? 100%? I can't be 100%. Russell for Huddersfield. Davis for Forest with some bad defending, but really good, powerful run. I've got Brown for Stoke. I love that goal for some reason. The straight kind of cross and the header. I've got Pirro's first goal. That was a sweet finish on the half volley. And I've got Doughty for Cardiff as well. Those are my 5. Vote for anyone you like, but again, try and open up your mind and not just vote for the team you support. So I'll give you my 5 again, and you can have your say in the chat. We'll see if we get a unanimous winner. I've got Russell for Huddersfield. I've got Davis for Forest. I've got Brown for Stoke. I've got Pirro for Swansea. And I've got Doughty for Cardiff. Let's see if we get any unanimous thoughts here. Pirro, Russell. I don't get it. If John Russell is not up there, he is. Have a vote, Ewan, rather than saying strange stuff like that. Russell, just because of how elegant it looked. Pirro. Russell, Pirro. Russell, if it was on purpose. Yeah, if Russell had run off and, looked like he meant it, I'd be all over that one. But Pirro. I think it's just Pirro over Russell. Russell needs to work on his celebration. Run off like Shearer, and we all thought he probably meant it. It was probably the Pirro goal, but how massive Davis and his celebration was, it was quite amusing in front of the poor old Birmingham fans. Let's go for Joel Pirro just over John Russell. Right, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. I don't know how we're going to do this over the weekend in terms of the preview shows, but it will likely be, we'll be here on Thursday, and we'll try and figure something in before Monday. Don't quite know how it's going to work, given the amount of time we've got. But thank you, everybody, for joining. We've got 98 likes. Please hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you very, very soon. It's a lovely big over and out from me. Thank you, everybody.